Hello, our dear parents, caregivers, children lovers. We're here again. We are glad to be with you. Thank you for joining us for another episode. Remember our guests, Mrs. Serauya and Mrs. Oluwasan, and the good time we had in the last episode. They're here again to give us counsel as we consider some parenting errors and occurrences that could affect our children negatively, that could traumatize them, and how to ensure we avoid such occurrences. So happy to have you again,
Thank
Mrs.
you, ma.
Oloya.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you, Mrs. Oluwasan.
Thank
We
you very
appreciate
much.
you greatly. Now, today we want to consider two cases. Remember the last time we considered a 3-year-old girl that was abused by a laundryman. This time, this happened to a family. The man came across an old friend. He hadn't seen him for quite a while. And then the friend made a request that his son will be coming to where the friend is based for 3 months industrial attachment from school. And what are friends for?
Sure.
He gladly obliged him. Your son can come stay with my family for 3 months. Now the guy came, and there was a particular day, a weekend, that the couple needed to go out. And they said to him, "You are here, we don't need to bother about our teenage daughter. Please watch over her while we are away." And before they came, they had raped the girl.
Oh no. That's a nice one.
These are the sad realities and occurrences on a daily basis. They got to know this because maybe he didn't threaten the girl, that if you tell this and that would happen, or maybe the girl had been trained to speak up in spite of threats. What error did the parents commit in this case? How could this have been avoided? What did they do wrong? So let's go on. Let me start with Mrs. Oluwasan this time.
Thank you very much, Ma. That case was just, to me, uncalled for. We're more than exposed now than to, in this case, I see a gap, carelessness. You know, even with siblings these days, you have to keep your eyes opened. You have to keep your guard up, you know, be on watch. So in the first place, they shouldn't have, if you know you have to take in someone who is like an opposite sex, you have to, or another gender, or a stranger, you have to keep your children safe. You have to keep them safe. It's either you go with your child, or because even when you say you're teaching the children protection or how to do self-defense, which is what some people resort to, pepper spray and all of that. What if the child is overpowered? What if in the process the child loses her life or his life? Because it actually happens to boys as well. So, and you know, all of that doesn't work. So it's better you avoid it in total by keeping, not allowing such situation to occur. So to me, I feel they were careless. They shouldn't have left their daughter at home. You mentioned when you started sharing the story that he hadn't seen the man, the parent had not seen their friend for a while. So you don't even know what their value systems are. I always say something to Roslyn, Mrs. Irauya, that my friends' children do not necessarily have to be my children's friends.
Absolutely.
And we need to know that, keep sentiments out of play.
Yes.
Please, parents, my friends' children, your friends' children do not necessarily have to be your children's friends.
Yeah.
Because when you become a parent, your lifestyle, and if you happen to be exposed and you're inquisitive, or you go for much more wisdom about parenting, you'd have gotten to a level where there is a line, there's a difference from you, from your singlehood to your parenting lifestyle. So you might not have the same values for parenting as your friend. Even most times, for a lot of people whose spiritual life is not the same, you know, a lot of young people are not so serious with their spiritual life till they get married. And you realize that you're a new person, you're a different person. And so you need to really watch it. So keep sentiment out of place. Avoid such situations. That could have been avoided.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much. Titi has really hammered on it, and honestly, that question has been well answered. But I will still need to buttress on values. You know, I keep telling families, every family I work with, the first thing I start, with them with is, please have a value system in your family. You know, it's just like having constitution as a country. As a family, we should have a value system. What are the values of your family? Okay, my husband and I, we have agreed that strangers that we have not seen, maybe 1 year, 2 years, can't just come in and have a sleepover. It's a value system. So if my husband comes to me, or I go to my husband, oh, there is this friend of mine, she came in and she doesn't have anywhere to put up. Oh, sorry, not here. We can book a guest room for him or her, instead of allowing the guests to come in and even stay for months. How sure are we of this person coming in? So our value system, we should spell it out. And the children should also be able to say it even offhand. Just like we say the pledge, we should be able to say it. So sometimes you just call your children, okay, tell me, concerning what you did, what does our value system say? So even we as parents, it's a check for us as well. If we have to make decisions at some point, this is our value system. Oh, sorry, we shouldn't do this. So if their value system has been set right, I don't even think they would think about leaving their daughter in the house with a total stranger.
Another thing we look at is behavioral. So when we look at, sometimes, most of us, we try to please other people at the detriment of our families. And then if we look at couples, sometimes they don't align. She mentioned that myself and my husband, we agreed. So it could be a case of in-laws, it could be a case of close family friends that you have ties with, or you feel they have helped you at some point in some country or the other,
so
and you want to pay back, an
Mm.
opportunity to pay back. But you need to really stand your ground. You really need to stand your ground. I mentioned when you were talking that life is not a rehearsal. This is the reality. I can't redo me. I can't retrain my child. So the best is what you give at time.
Thank you so much. I will buttress that point and reiterate what she said earlier on. Don't go against your values, but make alternative plans. It might cost you money, but that is safer than anything.
Safer.
Okay, safer than exposing your child to harm. Now we'll consider one more case before we go for this episode. A teenage girl had a friend. They were schoolmates. They were day students in school. So on a Saturday, her friend invited her to come with her to visit someone. And innocently, sheepishly, she followed her. And she was raped by the cousin they went to visit.
Oh dear.
What went wrong here? How could this have been avoided? What knowledge would have helped that girl not to be a victim? So let me start with you, Mrs. Soraria.
Wow, that's really heartbreaking.
It is.
It's really heartbreaking. You know, some time ago, Titi and I had a conversation about peer pressure. You know, how we even adults, position ourselves to be pressured.
Yes, sure.
You know, pressure.
Pressure, I've always said, is not just a teenager's
No, it's
thing.
not. It's not a teenager's
It
thing.
everyone.
Yes, it's not a teenager's thing. So I think we parents should be able to equip our children to be the pressure. I tell my boys, you be the one to pressure them. Of course, your own pressure, your own influence is positive.
Yeah, sure.
So be the pressure. A friend is coming, oh, let's go to my friend's place, blah, blah, blah. You don't know the friend before. You've never been there. And also going back to values. What are the values about visitation? when you're going to visit someone, do you just jump out of the house? You're going to be relating with daddy or mommy, or depends on how the procedure goes in the home. I need to go visit so person. Of course, mommy will ask you, why, where, who? All those questions will come up. You understand? And the way I was even brought up, my dad will drop you there. My dad, I'm sure he will listen to this. My dad will drive you there. He will go in
and see the environment.
Yes. Of course, that is a caution for anyone that wants to do anything bad. Exactly. So I think it still boils down to values. If that girl knows the values of her home, of her family, of her parents, she would align, she won't fall into that trap, because she will have told someone that this is what she's going to do, and this is where she is going. So that would be like a caution to her. And of course, the value system will also let her know what to do when she gets there. When this is about to happen, this is what you should do. Or this is how you should respond. So I think if those things are put in place, she will be able to help herself. Even if she finds herself in that situation, she would know that, oh, I'm already in a danger zone. So I need to take my leave, or I need to do something to get out of this.
You are right. Because I was in such a situation before. And once I got there and saw the environment, I knew there was trouble. So I didn't, the person asked me to hold on. He wanted to quickly, of course, he didn't.
There was an opportunity for you. You fled.
Even the guards at the gate, I said, we are leaving, he's coming. I said, tell him I've left. I'm so gone. I get you. But what he just said means that girl would have been tutored, enlightened.
Yes, ma'am.
Parents don't sit children down to train them anymore.
No value. Right.
When we were growing up, they said it to the extent that you even did not think. When they said once a man touches you, you get pregnant.
Exactly, that was the
statement. Also, you did biology and realized something must happen before you get pregnant. Exactly. So apparently, those parents were careless parents. There's no missing words about it. They really were careless.
I'd mentioned that when the parents you're modeling something in a home. Parents are the first models. Family is the bedrock for raising any child. So the child knows to stand saying, I'm not going, I don't want to go, I don't know the person. Like my mom would say something, you don't know the person during the party, and you want to go for the party. I don't understand it. You said you were in that situation. There was a party that I was invited to by my very, very, very close friend. I mean, we're very close family friends. And it was a friend that invited her. Immediately I got there, I knew that was not my place. It was off for me. The smell, the sting, it was off for me. So I stepped out. So really, children should be the pressure. I go back to that point. And then there are some things that happen in the house that you model, that parents help to model to their children confidence. Confidence and personal dignity. Someone cannot just come to you saying, oh, let's go to my dad jobless. My mom would say, are you that in this old house there are no more shores? She's Yoruba, so you can try and picture how she's most likely expressing herself. And she says she will even go ask, even for the people I know a lot of us have heard this. They'll say, do I know the person? When last did the person come to this house? A lot of friends will say that. Even when I told them they came yesterday, they said they've not come enough.
Yes, I agree with that point. Are you so idle that you can just be going anywhere? So our children must be brought up dignity, self-esteem, self-confidence. Okay, and we owe it to them to validate them, to assert them, to ensure that they believe in themselves, and when that happens, they will not be tossed here and there by their friends, and they will not be pressured. I just learned this. They should be the pressure. So let's work towards that. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma.
For enjoying this episode. We'll be back. Please remember to subscribe, share, like, and comment. See you in the next episode. Bye.